Welcome to Blending the Family, the podcast. Topics can range from finding your faith, dating after divorce, and mental health. Here's your host, who was told by a guest that he was a podcast influencer? And, well, you know the truth about that statement. Tommy Maloney. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Here's your host, who was told by a guest at one time that he was a podcast influencer. How about them apples? Well, you know the truth about that statement. Tommy Maloney.
Welcome to another edition of the podcast known as Blending the Family. I am your host, Tommy Maloney. And as our voice guy just said, it's true. It's really true. Past podcast guest Jeff Tippett was the one who said I was a podcast influencer when he was looking for podcast people on LinkedIn. I don't know. Anyway. So I have it in writing, if that counts for anything. As the old saying goes, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Oh my gosh, what a fucked up fuck week. I guess this is one of those things where I know my dad listens. Hi, Dad. And I guess I'm happy that my mom doesn't listen because my language is so messed up. I'm waiting for a text, and hopefully we'll hear one from my wife, who the car died today. And I am once again in beautiful British Columbia, Castlegar, British Columbia, Canada. It is so gorgeous up here. We've had some cloudy, a little bit of rainy weather, but it is just... This part of Canada is gorgeous. The western part is just, it's beautiful. Somebody said it today that it was God's country. It really is. It is just, I can't explain it enough. Maybe I'll put another picture or two up on the show notes. So there you go. So if it wasn't for bad luck, I have no luck at all. But let's it's okay. Okay, cars come and go. That's it. It's just been a fucked up week. It's just you and me for this episode. Don't hang up. Don't stop. Don't delete this. No. Don't worry. I gotta figure out. The problem is I have to just figure out how. Well, this week here in Canada, I cannot get a signal to save my life. So, actually, for the second time, I think it's only the second time I've ever used FaceTime off my iPhone, and I tried to use it with my wife and just couldn't get a frickin' signal. I already said fuck, so I couldn't get a fucking signal, so there you go. Where do we want to start? We're going to start with this. This is part of the reason why it's been a really fucked up week. For those of you who follow on Instagram, Blending Family on Instagram. It's the same as Twitter, Blending Family on Twitter. We lost Dookie. Dookie is at peace. It was it was beautiful. Okay. And I really wish my mom listened to this podcast, but that's okay. My mom had put recently one of their dogs went to peace. I love that saying. They're at peace, I should say. Hold on, I'm having a little wine. No idea what it is. It's the restaurant's house wine here at the hotel. Anyway. My mom had recommended that when a time came, and I didn't know you could do this. This is so cool. So for you pet owners out there, you can do research it, Google it. I don't know. Is Bing still around? I don't have Bing. Anyway, hospice for pets. So the way it works was, in this is, oh my gosh, again, this is why my it started last week. I will tell you a good story. But so last week, my wife Ann and I were on the phone talking about Duke, and she was telling me that the poor guy, he had peed in the house, which he never does. I can't recall him ever doing that. But he peed in the house. He's face planted off our back deck several times because his hind legs just keep giving out. Anyway, so my wife and I are on the phone talking about, the options. And so I said, well, let me see what the process is to have, the way I look at it is I really didn't want to take Dookie to a vet. And it is nothing to do. I mean, the vets that we've taken Duke to have been great, but it just didn't feel right. And so my mom had given me the idea about hospice for dogs in our situation. And so I already had an idea of who I wanted to contact. So I had to contact, they are called Lap of Love. Shout out to Lap of Love in Loveland, Colorado. I talked to this girl, Lisa, who was just phenomenal. And she's walking me through the process as I am just crying. And it was so hard to just talk about it. And the worst part for me, and this is, again, and the worst part today as well, is not being there. And what I mean by that is having a job where you travel, and several of you might have this situation too, where you just feel helpless that you're, thousands of miles away and you can't do anything about anything. And so, like I was saying earlier, my wife, last time I talked to her, the tow truck was just showing up, and here I am in Canada, and I can't help her, and I feel like an ass. And I know I shouldn't feel this way, but that's just the way I'm wired. Anyway, so I contacted Lap of Love, again, speaking to Lisa, and she walked me through the process, and we determined Sunday would be the day where the vet, one of the vets that they have in their network named Dr. Amy, who was just awesome. Just awesome. And, you don't know what to expect. So it was I hate to say a crappy weekend, but here's where it was an up and down. It was a fucking roller coaster this weekend. So again, and I apologize. Let me take a step back. So I'm on the phone with Lisa. We make the arrangements, and I'm a fucking mess. And here I am trying, thinking of the client, where I'm working, and trying to put that in perspective, that I'm here for them. Even though one of my coworkers who's been doing this type of work for 30 plus years, and they didn't fucking need me. He was handling everything, and matter of fact, he doesn't even talk to me because he knew I'm a fucking idiot. And I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. So, the word of the day, by the way, is fuck. Anyway, I come back to the hotel, and I'm trying to just clear my head, so I'm flipping through the channels. I'm not a big TV watcher, but I just need something to decompress, and I hope you find this funny, but I end up watching Eat, Pray, Love. Let that sink in. I was watching Eat, Pray, Love. Oh my gosh, I meant to say, let's see, hold on, who the author is that book. Eat, Pray, Love. Elizabeth Gilbert. Oh my gosh. And I really enjoy the movie. And don't sit there and go, oh, give me your man card bullshit, because hence the reason why we're going to talk about the title of this podcast is Men Will Be Boys. We're going to talk about why you men are acting like fucking assholes. And I am guilty of it as well. So anyway, Elizabeth Gilbert. If you have an opportunity, go to TED.com. You know what? I need to write that down. I'll put that in the show notes. I'll actually put in her TED Talks. Elizabeth Gilbert. Writing this down. Okay. Anyway, so I'm watching the movie. I love the movie. I meant to bring the book with me. And I'm crying. It's hitting me so hard. Anyway, so that was last Thursday. Saturday, I got home at 1:30 in the morning, and that's kind of funny. I got dropped off from the Lyft driver, opened up the garage door, went to the door that's to get me in the house, and the door was locked. Work with me. It's 1:30 in the morning, and the door's fucking locked. So, I had to ring the doorbell, wake up my poor wife to let me back in the house. Anyway, but Saturday was a big event. Our son Connor turned the 1-6. Part of his birthday for my mom, his grandmother, is she pays for tickets when the Blackhawks come to town and to face the Colorado Avalanche. Boo, Avs, boo. Anyway, so Connor and I went to the game, and unfortunately, 2 years in a row, Hawks lost. Hawks fucking lost. Anyway, it was a great time. I love those dad moments where it's just he and I one-on-one. We ate really bad food for ourselves. We did drink water, but we had these nachos and we're so good. And every time he and I go somewhere, a sporting event, be it when the Cubs come into town, we watch them against the Rockies and the Blackhawks and all. We always forget to get napkins. Always forget to get napkins when we get back to our seats. So anyway, Thursday had to talk about the hospice. Saturday, are you with me on this roller coaster? Saturday, Connor and I have a great time. Unfortunately, I don't get to spend the whole day with him. Just by the time I pick him up, take him to the game. After the game's over, I got to take him home because it wasn't my weekend, which is... Anyway. So Sunday's the event. And again, if you can, hospice for your pets. So Dr. Amy comes to the house. She walks us through the expectations. I mean, all I can say, it was just nice. Anne's nephew Jonathan and Jonathan's fiance Haley were there. I lost it on Sunday. I was just like, matter of fact, when I got home Saturday, I slept as much as I could right next to Duke. It was just hard. It was just hard knowing that, in less than 24 hours or whatever, he was going to be gone. So Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, 3:30 in the morning, my alarm goes off. Back on a plane, back here to Canada. So So Duke, Chris and Jen. Shout out to Chris and Jen. My buddy Chris, who's been on, Chris Williams. You know Chris Williams. He's been on the podcast. He and his wife Jen said, hey, if you guys want, come out. We'll go out for beers. We'll go celebrate whatever you need. And so we did. We went out with Chris and Jen and toasted to Duke. It was beautiful. It was, oh my God. And it was weird. As soon as we left the bar, we got in the car and I lost it again. And so today when my wife is when Ann's calling me about the car, she's sitting in the car crying, and I'm like, again, I can't do shit, which sucks. It just really, really sucks. Okay? You with me? With me so far? All right. I'm going to put in the show notes, I saw this somewhere. I don't remember where I saw it, but this is a really cool hotel hack. If you're like me and you have to have the shades drawn to when you go to bed, and the shades just don't overlap, you take the hanger, and I have a picture of this. I'm going to put this in the show notes. You take the hanger that has the, like for your pants, the clips, and when they overlap, you clip the hangers to it. I'm gonna put that in show notes and show you that. That was hilarious. Okay, so here's. I want to go back to the hockey game. Hold on, let me just have a sip. Let me have a sip. All right, so if you're a hockey fan, the word fan is actually derived from fanatic, okay? It's just shortened to fan. So on Saturday, Connor and I are watching the game. I chose really good seats. I think I chose really good seats. Anyway, during the game, there was a moment where the Avs scored, and if you've never watched hockey, you might be tuning out, and I hope you don't. But anyway, there was a play where the Avs scored a goal, but it looked like the player that scored the goal, it was a high stick, okay? The stick cannot be higher than the crossbar of the hockey goal, okay? With me so far. So the referees review it. They call it a goal. The Blackhawks goaltender, Corey Crawford, asked the referee to come over and explain what he saw, okay? He was calm. Corey Crawford of the Hawks was calm. Referee was calm. Crawford's getting an explanation. And here's where you men have got to fucking stop being assholes in front of our kids, okay? And I'll explain where I had my moment. But here's the thing. So imagine two adults having a conversation, having a civil conversation, okay? These two asshole fans stand up and start flipping off Corey Crawford. Why? Why? Why was this necessary? I know my son is 16. However, there are other young kids in that area where we were sitting where that was very visible. Again, two adult men stand up, flip off the goalie and the referee. Why is this necessary? Why, as men, do we find it so important that we have to throw our weight around, throw our testosterone around to show that we are men, pounding on our chest, saying, hey, ooh, you suck, or you offend me because you play for the other team, okay? Men, we really need to control not only our anger, but we have to understand where we are. And I'm not talking about necessarily toning it down, but I am telling you that it's very offensive. Very offensive. And here's where I lost my shit. Past 2 years that Connor and I have been at these games, I hear the same asshole behind me telling me to go back to Chicago. And I'm like, whatever. And he kept doing it. Finally, I turned around and I said, fuck you. I fucking live here. Shut the fuck up before I come over there and fuck you up. I was pissed. Should I have done that? No. I should have just calmly turned around, smiled, sarcastically, of course. But why? Why are we men still acting like we own the team? We don't own the team. We're not Mark Cuban. Hello? Quit acting like boys. And here's where, ladies, this is where we need your help. We need you to help us realize that this is not serious. This is not life-threatening. This is a fucking game. Boys are playing sports. That's what it is. Boys get to play sports professionally. And men, guess what? They get fucking paid for it. You don't. Okay? So the next time you are in that situation, I'm hoping you realize there's no need for it. There's no need for you to stand up, tell the other team to fuck off, because you have to understand. And, you know, what I hope you will do, dads, men, is help other men who don't have kids. Okay, you with me? That don't have kids. And to say to them, you know, your behavior is not necessary. It's not necessary, okay? What a fucked up week it's been. And I am so looking forward to being home. That was the other thing, too. My grandmother had a pacemaker put in. Gosh. I think I've said my piece. And I hope you men understand this, that this behavior has got to stop. It has to stop. You know, I can't remember what episode, but this is one of the episodes I talked about hockey parents, okay? I don't know what it is about, and I don't want to, I really don't want to just say it's hockey. I mean, I've seen it at my daughter Becca's basketball games. Not as much as volleyball, more basketball, where the parents get ugly. And parents, we have to understand how to control not our anger per se, but our energy, our emotions. And it's just getting so out of hand. So out of hand. And it's stupid. It's just insanely stupid. And again, I'm as guilty as anybody of it. But here's what I do for me, is that at Connor's hockey games, I don't stand near the parents. Or I try not to. Majority of the time, I don't. I stand somewhere else, because if you're a parent, and I know I've talked about this before, but if you're a parent and you're not familiar with the sport your son or daughter is playing, learn it, okay? Learn it. And don't just show up to these events and start shouting at referees or umpires or officials because everybody else is doing it. Stop. Just fucking stop. So, it's been a fucked up week, and I'm hoping that I hear from my wife. I hear that she's okay. That's the thing that's driving me nuts right now, is that because I can't get a decent connection to talk to her, and I've been texting her that she's okay, that my grandmother's okay. Remember, I feel helpless. I just feel so helpless. Okay? All right, so before I go, I want to talk about some takeaways. So number one, for pets, look into hospice. You'll thank yourself for doing that. It's such, you know what? When it's time for me to go, I'm dying at home. I am going to die at home, not in a fucking hospital. Okay? So I received an email from one of our listeners, and we'll call him Kyle. We'll call him Kyle, okay? And Kyle was emailing me, Tommy@blendingthefamily.com, Tommy@blendingthefamily.com. And one of the things he mentioned about was before he got remarried, about going to counseling with his, they're married now, but talking about how they should have gone to counseling before they got married. And I told him, okay, they're married now, and I said, it's not too late. Even Ann and I, even a little bit after we got married, we still went to counseling just to make sure things were kosher. And it's a huge help when you're getting into a new relationship, new marriage. You've got luggage, baggage. She's got marriage stuff that might have happened before, and baggage. So anyway, it's not too late. It's not too late to, go see counseling, getting help, and not being afraid to ask for help. So to Kyle out there, thank you for, number one, thanks for the email. That was very, very cool of you. And also, it's not too late to ask for help. So something I've been struggling with lately is, I bitch a lot about my job. I really do, and I hate it. But let's talk briefly about work versus a job. I have a job. You might have a job. This podcast is work. Okay? So far, are you with me? Job means you can be fired from it. Work, you can't be. Okay? This podcast, my writing, my speaking, that's work. That's why I was put on this planet. Jobs, pay the bills, help support your family, help eventually pay for car issues. So there you go. All right, that's it. That's work versus job. Okay. All right. I mentioned this earlier. Hey, reach out to me on Instagram or on Twitter at Blending Family. If you go to the YouTube channel, which is Blending the Family on YouTube, and you can see a lot of the interviews on YouTube. Okay, there you go. Email, again, Tommy@blendingthefamily.com, Tommy@blendingthefamily.com. Thank you for listening. Thanks for putting up with my many F-bombs on this episode. Hopefully next time you and I talk, I will give you some positive information and some happy information and some, some good vibes. Don't forget, Elizabeth Gilbert, check out her on TED.com. Read the book. I don't know what else to say. Oh, gosh, my throat hurts. All right. I think we've said our piece. We've talked about as much as I can. So there you go. All right. As you know, my bestest friend in the whole wide world that I've yet to meet, Terry Crews, as Terry Crews would say, your success is my success. Thanks for listening. Please share this podcast. Please leave ratings and reviews on however you get this podcast, be it on Stitcher, be it on Spotify, be it on iTunes. Thanks for listening. You have a great day.
Thanks for listening to Blending the Family, the podcast. Hopefully you puked working out, and not because of something Tommy said.